Jesus, is that the time? I think the word for today is oxidation, or the deterioration of my stupid plastic headlamps. These headlamp lenses have deteriorated now, and in fact this is going to be the third time I'm having to clean these lenses. But before I clean them, I'm going to show you something. There should be quite a bright light here against this wall, and also you should have a distinctive line, like a headlamp beam line, a straight line going along and kicking up to the left here in the UK. But I can't see that. All I can see is like a blob of light. There's no beam pattern left. In fact, if I use a proper MOT beam setter to check these headlamp alignments, and as I've just mentioned, there should be a distinctive line of light running horizontally in that beam setter, and then between the two vertical lines cutting off and kicking off to the left. But they don't. There's just a blob of light coming out of these headlamps. The funny thing is, the lenses on this van, they don't even look that bad. But it's incredible how a little bit of deterioration on these lenses can seriously reduce your light output. And at night time, your visibility is certainly going to be reduced. When we get cars coming here for MOT, because most cars these days have like plastic headlight lenses, and generally speaking it's the sun's ultraviolet rays that does this, but they're plastic lenses, they're going to deteriorate anyway over time. There's nothing you can do about it. You can protect them. I mean, there are many headlight restoration kits out there that you can use. I've never used any of these kits, so I can't really comment on if there's a really good one, but I should think there are a few with chemicals in them that do protect your headlight lenses once you've polished them up for a good few years probably, but I don't know. I've just got my dirt cheap, simple little way of doing this, because we get cars coming here for MOT, and quite often some of these cars have badly faded headlights and they fail the MOT for reasons I've already stated. No beam pattern, the light output's reduced, so we just clean them up with a bit of wet and dry and some T-cut. And I'll show you how I do it, because now I think I've already said this is the third time I'm having to clean these headlights, but I can tell you, once I've cleaned them up, they'll last probably a good 12 months without putting anything on them. I've got two sheets of wet or dry here, and one of them is at 800 and the other one's at 1200. Obviously the 800 is a bit more coarse if you want to be a bit more adventurous, and the 1200 is finer. But you know, I'm going to go for the 800. So I'm going to cut this, I'm going to get a little square of it like that, and I'm going to dip this in my water. So I'll soak my wet or dry paper in some water. And this is where you need a bit of elbow grease, because you're going to put it on here and you're going to do little circles, if you like, and you're going to have to work that wet or dry paper in. Give it a good rub. Just take your time. And obviously keep wetting your paper. You don't want to be doing it dry, because obviously the water acts as a lubricant. But give that a good rubbing. And what this is actually doing, it's like taking a layer of the plastic off. So you're like starting again with clean plastic. But obviously it's quite hard work. It's called elbow grease. If you don't know what elbow grease is, if you've ever had to polish a car, a whole car, it's quite hard work. Now actually, the more time you spend rubbing these headlights down, the better they're going to be. As like I say, it's quite hard work and tedious, especially doing it by hand. But you need this wet and dry to cut yourself a nice clean sheet. I'm now going to use a bit of the 1200 wet and dry. The reason is the 800 is a bit coarser and it will leave very fine scratches which will be a bit harder to polish out with a T-cut. So I'll use the 1200 wet and dry and that'll iron out some of the scratches. It'll make it a bit easier with the T-cut. The other thing I'm going to say, if you've got headlights that are close to your paintwork, you may have to remove the headlight to do this job, unless you're very, very careful. On this particular van, I'm not bothered about the paintwork, but yeah. I was going to give this a quick going over with this 1200 wet and dry. I actually want to see the result when I put the headlights on after this is all done, and see if we've got any kind of beam pattern back. It'd be quite interesting to know. Well, I actually know there is going to be a beam pattern back, but so you guys can see it if you've never been down the route of cleaning these type of plastic headlight lenses. Okay, I'll just wipe the water off. Now at this point now, the headlight looks actually worse than what it started. But now I'm going to get the T-cut out. It's actually going to bring out the lens, it's going to make it all clear again. Alrighty, what I have here is a bottle of Ultrafina SE. In fact, forget what the bottle says, it's T-cut. That's all you need to know, it's ordinary T-cut. So I'm going to put a generous layer of this on a piece of rag. And now I'm going to apply my T-cut to the headlight, like so, and start rubbing with a piece of cloth, or paper towel if you like. And this is where the elbow grease comes in, because this could take some time. Yeah. This is bringing a whole new meaning to the word elbow grease. Do you know what? Stuff this. I've got a better idea. You see, there's a plan A and there's a plan B here. Plan A, I get somebody else to do my dirty work for me. Then that's one crap job I haven't got to worry about. Right, here we go. Yo, money!
What now?
Well, you don't have a dog and bark yourself, do ya?
What did you just say?
No, I just said I was wondering if you'd give me a hand polishing something.
How about you go and polish yourself now?
Oh, you've got to be joking. I can't believe she just did that. I'm going to go and wash myself off. Obviously, plan A was no success. God damn it. I will say one thing. A lot of cars these days, you can get dirt cheap headlights from motor factors. So sometimes, rather than trying to restore a headlight that's that badly faded, you could just as well, or buy a restoration kit which could cost you 20-30 quid. You could just go and buy yourself a brand new headlight. It'd be so much easier. Alright then, maybe that didn't go so well. Plan B it is then. Alrighty then. So yeah, if you've got a little buffing gun, it will make life so much more easier. So once again, I'm going to apply some T-cut to my buffing gun pad. And in fact, so it doesn't spread everywhere, I'm actually going to dab it in so it doesn't fling it all over the place. Because I swear to God, if this shit gets on my camera lens, I will not be happy. I'm going to put some more T-cut all over the lens because I don't want our buffing dry to go dry, if you know what I mean. I want to keep it wet, otherwise all the foam will disintegrate. And now we'll give that a good old buff up. Just take it nice and carefully. Take your time. There's no hurry. We're not using elbow grease now, we're using battery grease. And obviously I'm taking my time with this because it's certainly not a 5-minute job even with the battery gun or the buffer. Just want to get that worked in, but keep it wet. Keep plenty of T-cut on it, because if you don't, like I said, all the foam is going to disintegrate off your pad. So plenty of T-cut. Just work in tiny little small circles and work your way around the headlight lens. Right, I think that'll do. For the moment anyway. Get a bit of rag and I'll give that a wipe off now. There's like T-cut spray everywhere. It's quite messy. Just don't have anything lying around that you don't want to get covered in T-cut. There. So this is the driver's side headlamp, which I haven't touched yet. So you can see how faded that lens is. Now if I move across to the passenger side, look how much cleaner that is. I can actually see all the bulbs inside the headlight now. In fact, I haven't done this perfectly. I could actually go on for as much time as I want to spend on it if you want to be really perfect. But for me, this is good enough to get it through an MOT now, and I'm going to check the beam pattern now. You see that? I can actually see the line and the kick up now from the beam pattern, and the light is actually quite a bit brighter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the beam tester on the headlight anyway, just so we can have a better look. I don't know how good this looks on the camera, but looking from here, I can now see a horizontal line, and where the two vertical lines join, it kicks up and off to the left, as it should be. I can see a clear, visible beam pattern there now on our headlamp beam tester. It's a freaking winner. Anyway, that's a really inexpensive way of cleaning these headlights up. Obviously, if you haven't got a buffing gun, you're going to struggle. So don't be doing it in the midday sun. I would suggest cleaning these headlights on a nice cool morning, because you're going to work up a sweat trying to polish them manually. But anyway, I would be perfectly happy now to pass that headlight on an MOT test. Unfortunately, the driver's side one I wouldn't pass, so I've now got to do this side as well. But I'm not going to do that on camera. So anyway, I just thought I'd let you know that's how we clean these headlights up. And we don't do them because these are our own cars. We just simply do them to get cars through the MOT test. And on my own brand, I don't particularly care anyway, but I'm just doing it to show it for demonstration purposes. Anyway, that's it. Till the next time. See ya.